हेलो
हेलो,
मिश्रा जी बोलिए।
एवरीथिंग इज ओके मिश्रा जी?
हेलो
अपने को पता कैसे चलेगा आवाज आ रही है कि नहीं सबको? हेलो,
हाँ मैडम साउंड जा रहा है। मैडम सबको साउंड जा रहा है, चालू करो ये।
जा रहा है आवाज पक्का?
हाँ मैडम आ रहा है।
प्रमोद जी, मेरा आवाज आ रहा है आपको? ठीक है, ओके, थैंक यू।
स्टार्ट करें। मेरा आवाज आ रहा है
Okay,
क्या?
welcome in the second day of faculty development program. We have with us Ashok Kumawat. Ashok, please take a charge and start the session. We are already running late.
Yes madam. Thank you Shweta madam. So just we are to the points. We are going to discuss deduction under chapter 6a. So the first section is ATC, which is very so specified investment under section
Hello.
ATC. Hello. So
सर बोलिए, आपका आवाज आ रहा है, बोलिए।
hello.
हाँ अशोक, स्टार्ट करो।
Okay. So first section is ATC, specified investment. Who are eligible are individual and HUF.
Mishra ji, okay? What is the
Yes
problem?
ma'am, yes ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. So we are going to discuss deduction under chapter 6a from taxable income. First section is ATC, which is very popular, which is a list of specified investment which can be deducted from your taxable income. So who are eligible are individual and HUFs. Below is the list of specified investments. First is payment of life insurance premium. So if you are paying life insurance premium, you can get the deduction under section ATC. For what amount you will get deduction, you can calculate by these three: A, B, C, whichever is the situation your policy is following. Like if policy is taken before 1st April 2012, then you can calculate by maximum 20% of sum assured or actual premium. Whichever is lower will be your amount of deduction. If your policy is taken after 1st April 2012, then maximum amount for deduction will be 10% of sum assured or actual premium, whichever is lower. Third is policy taken after 1st April 2014. There is only one change from B is maximum 15% of sum assured is given for handicapped assessees, and for other assessees the condition is same, like maximum 10% of sum assured or actual premium, whichever is lower. So this must be clear. Life insurance premium, you can get the deduction as per the three situations. Second is contribution to unit linked insurance plan. And third is deposit in public provident fund, that is known as PPF, which is very popular also. But PPF account is like exempt from all the corners. First is when you deposit into this account, you will get deduction under section 80C. Interest on PPF account will be exempt, and whenever you withdraw this amount, there will be no tax also. So for first, second, and 3 point, there is one important point. The deduction is allowed whether the payment is for himself, spouse, or children. Any of the three you are paying for, you will get the deduction for these three payments. Fourth one is investment in Jeevan Dhara, Jeevan Akshay, and Dhan Raksha plan of LIC. Fifth, investment in ELSS, that is equity linked savings scheme of UTI or mutual fund. UTI is Unit Trust of India. Sixth, investment in bonds of NABARD. Investment in home loan account scheme of National Housing Bank. Investment in senior citizen saving scheme. Investment in National Savings Certificate, that is NSC. Term deposit with bank for 5 years or more. Deposit in Sukanya Samriddhi account scheme. Deposit in 5 years post office time deposit account. Employees contribution to SPF and RPF. RPF is recognized provident fund and SPF is statutory provident fund. Tuition fees for maximum 2 children. School fees and college fees, etc., like donation and all the fees will not be included here, only tuition fees. And repayment of housing loan taken from bank or financial institution. Repayment there consists of two parts, that is principal and interest. So what will we get here is deduction for principal amount only. And in point number 10 and point number 12, there is term deposit or in bank or post office, so you will not be able to withdraw before 5 years. If you withdraw, then your deduction will be taken back. So these was 15 points under 80C. Now we move to next section, that is section 80CCC. What is it? Contribution to pension scheme of LIC or other insurance company. Who are eligible are individual assessees. Amount of deduction maximum is 1,50,000. Other condition as income or annuity received from pension scheme in future shall be taxable in your income and which will be included in your total income. This was section 80CCC, contributions to pension scheme. Third is section 80CCD bracket 1, contributions to pension scheme of central government. This is contribution to pension scheme which is of central government. So eligibility, who are eligible are individual assessees. Amount of deduction, how do we calculate amount of deduction? For salaried person there is different formula, for other assessees there is different formula. So for salaried person, 10% of basic salary or DNS allowance combined, and 10% of that, or employees contribution, means employees contribution whichever is lower will qualify for 80CCD subject bracket 1. And for others, 10% of gross total income or actual contribution whichever is lower. So this is the formula to get your amount of deduction under section 80CCD. Now the most important point is deduction under section 80C, 80CCC and 80CCD bracket 1 is maximum 1,50,000. So combining 80C, 80CCC and 80CCD1, you can claim maximum deduction of rupees 1,50,000 only. So this was first part, like 80C, CCC and CCD1, maximum deduction 1,50,000. We move to next section, that is section 80CCD bracket 2, contributions to pension scheme of central government. Who are eligible are individual assessees again. Amount of deduction, how do we calculate? For salaried person, 10% of basic salary plus DNS allowance or employers contribution. Sorry, employers contribution, there is only one change, that is employers contribution. So whatever amount will come, lower of the two will be your deduction amount for section 80CCD bracket 2. Now comes section CCD 1B. Maximum 50,000 would be eligible for deduction in respect of contribution to pension scheme of central government. So here it is also maximum 50,000 would be eligible for deduction in respect of contribution to pension scheme. This will not be included in this 1,50,000, but this will be additional to this 1,50,000. So there are more benefits under income tax for these two sections. I hope you are understanding this. We move to next point. So then again one of the popular section, that is section 80D for mediclaim insurance or health insurance. Amount paid other than by cash. The amount of health insurance or premium health premium should be paid other than by cash. If you are paying by cash, then it will deduction will not be allowed. So if you have to pay other than by cash, like cross check, online you can also payment, also make payment, and by all eligible SCs are individuals and HUF. So if it can be paid by individual for himself or herself, spouse and dependent children or parents, and if it is paid by HUF, then any member of HUF can claim the deduction for health insurance. Now we come to details of this health insurance deduction under section 80D. So section 80D, there are limits how much deduction you can get under section 80D. First, for self, spouse or dependent children, you can get deduction of rupees 25,000. Second is if specified person is senior citizen, then you can get maximum deduction up to rupees 50,000. So if you are not senior citizen, then you can get deduction under section 80D up to rupees 25,000. If specified person is senior citizen, then you can get deduction up to rupees 50,000. For payment for parents, if they are not senior citizen, then 25,000, and if parents are senior citizen, then 50,000. Maximum limit is 50,000. And these limits like 25,000, 50,000 will also include deduction of preventive health checkup, which shall not exceed 5,000, and it can be paid in cash also. Only preventive health checkup expenses can be paid in cash. So this 25,000, 50,000 limit will also include the preventive health checkup expenses. Now we will go to the situations, like what can be the situation under section 80D. So we go to Excel. Here we go. Like first case is individual and parents both are below 60 years of age, and if premium paid for self, family and children maximum is 25,000, and for parents also maximum 25,000. So the total deduction under section 80D which we can claim is rupees 50,000, 25,000 for self, family, children, and 25,000 for parents, because the both are below both are not senior citizens. That's why the limit is 25,000. Second case is individual and family below 60 years and parents above 60 years. So for self, family and children, the maximum premium which can be qualified as deduction will be 25,000, but for parents, as they are senior citizens, so the limit will increase to 50,000. So the total deduction we will get under 80D will be 75,000. And third and last situation under this section will be individual, family and parents all are above 60 years of age. Then for self, family and children, the limit will also be 50,000, and for parents also 50,000. The maximum deduction under section 80D will be 1 lakh rupees, since both the parents and individual are both above 60 years of age. Senior citizen includes super senior citizen also. So this will be your calculation. These are the situation which practically can be, and this will be your maximum amount which can be claimed as deduction under section 80D. So I think I'm clear on this section. We go back to our presentation. So this the point number 1, 2, 3 and 4 we have explained here also in Excel sheet also. So we goes to next. The last point is deduction for medical expenditure of specified person up to rupees 50,000. You can also get deduction up to rupees 50,000 under this section for medical expenditure. Now there are two conditions. Specified person is very senior citizen. Very senior citizen is age equals to or above 80 years of age. So that person is included in this additional deduction of medical expenditure. And second condition is no amount paid for health insurance of such person. So this so this for this citizen, super senior citizen, you no payment, no amount should be paid for health insurance of such person. Then you can also claim additional deduction of rupees 50,000 under section 80D. So we have covered all the parts of section 80D. Point number 1, 2, 3, 4 also explained in Excel, and this is also very much clear. So we move to next section, section 80E. Interest on loan taken from financial institutions or approved charitable institutions for higher education. If you have taken any education loan, then you can also get deduction under section 80E only for the interest portion of repayment. Like there are two part in repayment, interest and principal. So here we will get only interest part as a deduction. Who are eligible are only individuals. Now it is explained very clearly. Loan should be taken for what purpose? Higher education. Higher education means what? Any course of study pursued after passing senior secondary exam. So this will qualify for higher education. This is purpose for which loan is taken. For whom the loan can be taken is assessee. For himself also he can take the education loan, for spouse, for children, and the fourth is student, for whom assessee is a guardian. So if you are a guardian of any student, legal guardian of any student, you can also and you have taken 80 loan from education loan, then you can also get deduction under section 80E for interest repayment. And from whom, किससे आप लोन ले सकते हो? That is, either you can take it from banks or from financial institutions or approved charitable institutions for the 80E deduction. So maximum period of deduction will be 8 years, or interest is fully paid, whichever is earlier. This we will understand by an by an example. So first of all, you just read the lines. So I will go to Excel for your for this 8-year old interest is fully paid condition. So interest on loan, only interest portion on loan from financial institution or approved charitable institution for higher education. So only interest and higher education. Eligible are individuals, and loans should be taken for for what, whom, and so we will now go to the example for this maximum period of deduction. So this is the example. Suppose I have taken a loan of rupees 10 lakhs in financial year 16-17, and now I have started my repayment of education loan in financial year 19-20, and my repayment schedule is like this. Financial year, each and every year 10 years, and interest and principal amount is, these are imaginary figures just for the example. So I will be paying this much of interest in 10 years and this much of principal. So I will be at for 10 years I will be paying repayment of education loan. So in this case, how many years of interest you will get a deduction is only 8 years, that is from 19-20 till 26-27. So this will be your yearly deduction under section 80E. So deduction will be allowed from financial year 19-20 to 26-27, that is 8 years. So this was the first condition. Maximum 8 years you can take the deduction under section 80E. Now if my repayment schedule is like this, financial year 19-20, I am paying, I started repayment of education loan from 19-20, and I will pay the full amount by 24-25, that is in 6th year. So I will get the deduction till 24-25, since my all the payments has been, my interest is paid fully. So deduction will be allowed from 19-20 to 24-25, interest is paid fully. So this is the condition which we are going. Maximum period of deduction 8 years, or interest is fully paid. If your interest is paid before 8 years, then deduction will be allowed till that period only. And if you are repaying your education loan after 8 years also, then your deduction will be uh, allowed till 8th year of repayment. So this is also very much popular section nowadays. So we move to another section. Section 80U, deduction for handicapped assessee. The assessee should be handicapped, not other person. The assessee himself, if handicapped, then this deduction will be allowed to that assessee. Who are eligible resident individuals, the assessee should submit a certificate of disability from government hospital. The hospital issues a disability certificate on which the percentage of disability is mentioned, and as per the percentage of disability, you will get a deduction under section 80U. Amount of deduction, how do we calculate? Disability percentage is less than 40%, then there will be no deduction under section 80U. That is first condition. Second is, if disability percentage is 40 but less than 80, then you will get a deduction of rupees 75,000 flat. There is no condition for this amount. If your disability is equals or 40% less than 80%, then your deduction will be 75,000 flat deduction. And if disability is equals to 80% or more than 80%, that comes under severe category, then your deduction will be rupees 1,25,000, that is flat deduction. So this is section 80U for handicapped assessee. So they can get the benefit under this section from taxable income. This amount will be reduced, and which will result in lower payment of income tax. So this was section 80U. Likewise, there is section 80DD, treatment and maintenance of HDR. HDR is what? Handicapped dependent relative. Not the assessee, but his relatives are handicapped, and the assessee is taking care of them. Then the assessee can get the benefit under section 80DD. That is treatment and maintenance of handicapped dependent relative. Who are eligible? Resident individual, resident HUF. Conditions are, the assessee should submit a certificate of disability, government hospital. The same was section 80U. So the same is under section 80DD also. And the assessee should spend on the treatment of relative. These are the two conditions which should be fulfilled. The assessee should spend on the treatment of HDR or deposit some amount, either this or this, but any of the two has to be there. Spend on the treatment of HDR or deposit some amount with LIC, UTI or other insurance companies for maintenance of your relative, then the assessee will qualify for deduction under section 80DD. Amount of deduction is same as section 80U, depends upon disability. This will be the amount. So this also will be flat, whether you are spending or depositing your amount with LIC lower than this or this, your deduction will be 75,000 or 1,25,000 as per the disability percentage. So this is for assessee himself is handicapped, and this is for maintenance and treatment of assessee's relatives. So he will also get deduction under section 80DD. And HDR, handicap dependent relative, for individuals. Who are the relatives is spouse, children, parents, brothers and sisters. And for HUF, any member of HUF will be relative for that HUF. So if individual is taking care of any of these, then you will get the deduction under section 80D. Okay, so I am clear on this also. Now we move to another section, that is section 80G, that is deduction for rent paid. Like there are many employees or self-employed professionals which are not getting the deduction of HRA, so they can get the and paying rent, so they can deduction for that rent under section 80G. Who are eligible? Self-employed or salaried individuals are eligible for this section. Not received HRA, these all conditions should be fulfilled for this deduction. any of this is violated and you cannot take deduction under section 80GG. So first should be self-employed or salaried person. Second is not received HRA at any time during the year. If you have not received HRA in any time during the year, you are qualified for this section. And the assessee, spouse or minor children should not own a residential accommodation at a place where he resides or perform his duties. So if you are providing services from Mumbai and you also own a residential house in Mumbai, then you will not be eligible for this section. So any of the three condition is violated and you are not qualified for section 80GG deduction. So these are three conditions. You should not receive HRA and you should not own a residential accommodation at a place where he resides or perform his duties. Then you will be eligible for section 80GG. Now we comes to the amount of deduction, how much you will get deduction under section 80GG. Amount of deduction is calculated is lower of the following. First is 25% of AGTI. We will come to the examples. We will come to example, then I will explain you what is AGTI. Or 5,000 per month, or actual rent paid less 10% of AGTI, whichever is lower will qualify as a amount of deduction under section 80GG. So we move to our example. Like this is the example 1, example 2. So I have written the three conditions here: 25% of AGTI, 5,000 per month, and rent paid less 10% of AGTI. I'm assuming that our actual rent we are paying is 10,000 per month. So lower of 1, 2, and 3 will be our deduction under section 80GG. Now AGTI was adjusted gross total income, like your other income, all the income less all deductions except this deduction under section 80GG. So your income minus all deduction except 80GG. So that will come to your adjusted gross total income, and this is how calculated. 25% of AGTI comes to 1,18,750 under this example. 5,000 per month will be 60,000, and rent paid is 10,000 into 12, 1,20,000 minus 10% of 4,75,000, that comes to 72,500. So whichever is lower, it comes to 60,000. So we will be eligible under section 80GG, and the amount of deduction will be 60,000 only. So this was the first example. So we move to second example also. Like I'm assuming that our actual rent paid is 8,000 per month. My gross total income is 5,50,000, and all deduction without 80GG are 1,75,000. So my aggregate gross total income comes to 3,75,000. So by calculating with our conditions, we we got this amount, and this amount, and the whichever is lower comes to 58,500. So we will get the deduction under section 80GG of amount of rupees 58,500. So I am clear about the three conditions. You can calculate like this, and you will come to know the amount of deduction under section 80GG. So this is for the employees or the self-employed person who are not getting HRA and also paying rent. So they can claim deduction here under section 80GG. So I think this is clear also. We move to next section, that is 80GGC, donation to political party or electoral trust. Eligibility: assessees other than Indian companies, individuals, HUF, all are eligible under this section. So amount of deduction will be 100% of the amount donated to political party or electoral trust. So other condition are political party should be registered under Representation of People Act 1951, and the most important condition is donation should not be in cash. It should be by otherwise by account pay check or by net banking or RTGS, NEFT, anything, but not by cash. So if you are donating in cash, the deduction will not be available to you under section 80 GGC. So this is donation to political party or electoral trust. So I think this is also clear. We should move to next section, that is 80G. Donation to certain funds or charitable institutions will qualify for deduction under section 80G. So contribution made to certain relief funds and charitable institutions can be claimed as a deduction under section 80G of the Income Tax Act. All donations, however, not eligible for deduction under section 80G. Only donation made to prescribed funds qualify as a deduction. There are prescribed list of charitable trusts or institutions or funds to which if you are donating some amount, you will get the deduction under section 80G. So who are eligible? Individuals, companies, firms, or any other person, all the SSCs are eligible for deduction under section 80G. Amount of deduction, there are the various donations specified in section 80G are eligible for deduction of up to either 100% or 50% with or without restriction as provided in section 80G. So there is a list of charitable institutions or certain funds to which you can donate some amount and you will get the deduction maybe up to 100% or 50% depending upon the funds or charitable institution you are donating to. Like in present case, if you are donating to PM care fund for COVID-19, then you will get the 100% deduction, that also without any restriction. So whatever you are donating to that fund, then you can get the deduction under section 80G. So it depends on to which fund you are donating, and the funds are described under section 80G of the Income Tax Act. Other condition are donation in cash up to 2000 is allowed, but if you are donating above 22,000 in cash, then the deduction will not be allowed under section 80G. So this is also one of the popular deductions under Income Tax Act. Now we move to another section, that is section 80 TTA, that is interest on deposit in saving account. This is interest on deposit in saving account only, no other deposits, only saving account deposit. So saving account which is in bank or cooperative society or post office. Who are eligible? Individuals and HFSSs other than senior citizens, because for senior citizen there is another section which is 80 TTB which will be discussed next to this. So all the so individual and HFSSs are eligible except senior citizens. Amount of deduction will be rupees 10,000 or actual saving interest, whichever is lower. So if you are getting interest of 12,000, then your deduction will be deduction is limited to 10,000 only. Or if you are getting saving interest below 10,000 like 8,000 or 9,000, then the entire amount will be the entire amount can be claimed as deduction under section 80 TTA. This is for interest on deposit in saving account only. Yeah? That is saving account is most important, and other than senior citizens. So now we come to the deduction for senior citizens for this thing. So section TTB is interest on deposit for senior citizens. Who are eligible? Only resident senior citizens are eligible. So nature of interest should be interest on bank deposit हो सकता है, either it is on saving or fixed deposit, both are included in TTB. Interest on deposits in cooperative societies, it is also saving or fixed, both are included. And interest in post office deposits, this also includes saving or fixed, both interest on both the accounts will be eligible for deduction under section 80 TTB for senior citizens. So amount of deduction is limited to 50,000, that is rupees 50,000, or actual interest on deposits, whichever is lower will qualify for the deduction under this section. So if the interest on all your saving account or fixed deposits exceeds 50,000, and if you are senior citizen, you will get deduction up to rupees 50,000. So I am clear on this section 80 TTA and TTB. TTA is only for individuals and HFSSs other than senior citizen, and only for interest on saving account and limited 10,000, and under 80 TTB senior citizens and interest on all accounts like saving, or whether it is saving or fixed, all the interest will be included here under section 80 TTB, and the limit is also 50,000 rupees. So I have discussed the major sections of deduction under chapter 6a, which are very popular and people invest in these things. Just let me come to the first section, which is 80C. I think in starting I have missed some of the things, so we will get back to that. Yeah, this. So under section 80C, who are eligible individuals and HUF, list of specified investment. There are list of specific investment under which you can claim the deduction from taxable income, which will which will result in your lower income and lower payment of income tax. So first is payment of life insurance policy, life insurance premium. I think everyone nowadays everyone have this life insurance premium. So there are three conditions by which there are three cases by which you can calculate your eligible amount for deduction under life insurance premium. So if you have taken your policy, if your policy is taken before 1st April 2012, then your amount for deduction will be maximum 20% of sum assured or actual premium, whichever is lower. And if your policy is taken after 1st April 2012, then maximum amount will be maximum 10% of sum assured or actual premium, whichever is lower. And C is, if policy is taken after 1st April 2013, there is only one change in B and C. That is, for handicapped assessee, they have increased the limit, that is maximum 15% of sum assured or actual premium, whichever is lower. And for other assessees, the limit is 10% only. So this and this remains same except this one change for handicapped assessee. Second is contribution to unit linked insurance plan. Third is deposit in public provident fund account, that is PPF. So if you are depositing public provident fund, then this is exempt from all corners. Like whenever you deposit into this account, you will get deduction under section 80C, and interest on this account is also exempt under section income tax act. And whenever you are withdrawing your whenever you are withdrawing amount from this account, that amount also qualify for exemption. So it is uh, exempt from all the corners. And for these three, point number 1, 2 and 3, deduction is allowed whether the payment is for himself or spouse or children. So you can claim deduction for this, point number 3. Fourth is investment in Jeevan Dhara, Jeevan Akshay, Jeevan Raksha plan of LIC. These are the plans of LIC. If you are taken that, then you will get deduction under section 80C. Investment in ELSS, that is equity linked savings scheme of either UTI or mutual fund. Investment in bonds of NABARD. Investment in home loan account scheme of National Housing Bank. Investment in senior citizen savings scheme. Investment in National Savings Certificate, popularly known as NSC. Term deposit with bank for 5 years or more. Under this, you will not be able to withdraw before 5 years. And if you withdraw before 5 years, your deduction will be taken back. Then deposit in Sukanya Samriddhi account scheme, deposit in 5 years, post office time deposit account, employees contribution to SPF or RPF, SPF if statutory provident fund or RPF if recognized provident fund. Tuition fees of maximum 2 children, only maximum 2 children, school fees, college fees, etc. And that is only tuition fees, not any other fees. Like there are they have the breakup of your school fees in many sectors, like donations and many other things are also there, but there will be one tuition fees, so you will get deduction only for tuition fees. And repayment of housing loan taken from bank, financial institution, only principal amount. So interest is taken care in your income from house property, and principal amount you get the deduction here under section 80C. So this was section 80C. We have gone through all the sections. 80 triple C. This is for pension scheme. Just these points you should keep in mind. Deduction under section 80C, triple C, and 80CCD1 maximum 1,50,000. So I think we have gone through measure of sections for deduction from taxable income, and this will help you in great way for next filing your income tax returns. If any queries, you can mail. I will get back to you for the solutions also. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.
Yeah, thank you, Ashok. I think we have covered most of the deductions. So I'm very sure that कि लोगों को काफी benefit इससे होगा. And मैंने परसों भी request किया था, if आप लोगों को कोई भी query है, कोई भी solution आपको चाहिए, तो आप आपके respective college को लिखिए, वो हमारे तक आपकी सारी queries पहुंचा देंगे. And I think we can close it for now. We will meet again tomorrow, same timing. Maybe 3 का 3:30 हो सकता है, because we all know that we all are at home and घर से काम कर रहे हैं, किसी का network है, किसी का नहीं है, so थोड़े बहुत technical issues होते हैं. We are very sorry for that कि कल का session भी हमको postpone करना पड़ा. But I'm sure tomorrow onwards things will run in a smooth fashion. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.